My name is Greg Murray.
And my name is Wendy Kennedy.
I'm a line crew foreman, Mid-American Energy.
I'm a chief linewoman.
Power stations pump out power at extremely high voltages, either below the ground or through the poles over your head. But before they get to your house, a series of transformers step down the voltage for everyday consumption. This complex network of wires and transformers is in constant need of service and repair, and line workers work tirelessly to make sure your lights stay on.
We maintain all the wires, anything that's associated.
We got that job we started yesterday, and as you know, all three phases are cut. We're going to have to identify to make sure those go back exactly the same way. Anytime we work on a line and put grounds on a line or anything, we have to go through our distribution center. We're sitting here at that transformer at 4501, and those three elbows are open.
That's what I need to know, Greg. Whenever you're ready to ride, I can issue you a clearance now.
Okay, go ahead. I'm ready. What we're doing right here, right now, is we're going to install grounds. And grounds protect us, protects the lines from being energized. And we know they're de-energized, but they're capable of holding a capacitance charge on them. And that capacitance charge is powerful enough to really hurt you. Okay, what we're going to do now is Vince and I are going to take these phase sticks, and this will tell us definitely that these cables are de-energized. That one's de-energized, and that one's de-energized. If we would put a ground on one of these cables that was energized, made that mistake, we would have a heck of a ball of fire. Over a century ago, when they started doing line work, 1 out of every 2 linemen died on the job. Over the years, safety has become a very important thing for linemen, and it's relatively safe now as long as you abide by the safety rules and do the things you need to do to protect yourself. This side's grounded now. We're completed here. Now we need to go to the other side and ground looking back the other way, and then we can go ahead and start doing our work in the hole. Vince and I have been working together quite a while, and that's a nice thing because communication on a crew is really important. And you know, Vince and I will talk back and forth, kind of just verbally say what step we're going to do next, so that we're both on the same page all the time. De-energize. And we're ready to go off to the work site and do our splicing. The company come out to set this pole, and they set it right over here where we got a hole dug up, and they went right down through our 3-phase wire. Vince and I, now that we've got our grounds on and we've protected ourselves, we're going to get down this hole and we're going to make splices, splice that wire that they damaged back together. Cut the bad end off and see what we got. That'll work. Got one end greased, honey. We now finished our splicing, and we're putting our protective jacket over the splices right now. And as soon as we're done here, I'm going to release my clearance, and then we'll switch this circuit back to normal. And we'll be completed with this project.
At 7 o'clock when we first come in. Our bosses will have a little safety huddle. They'll bring up any safety issues if something happened, and then we'll go out to the truck. I'll show the prints to the guys. We'll go over the work that has to be done for that day. We'll pick up the according material that goes along with it. From there, then we ride out to the job. One of the most dangerous parts of our job is being out on the road because you're constantly out in traffic. And once you evaluate the situation, then you know. We'll sit there, have a tailboard, talk to the service dispatcher, let everybody know what's involved in the job, make sure everybody understands their duties. And a big part of it is safety, there's no doubt about it. Our job is definitely dangerous. A big part of it is to stay focused. Good communication, I don't know whether you like the guy or not. When you come into the locker room, you know, you don't even look at him, you hate him, doesn't matter. When you're out on the job, he's your best friend, you know what I mean? You have to talk because you both want to be safe, you both want to get the job done, you both want to go home the same way you came in.
Overall, they're going to put a new service here, so the transformer that I'm going to hang here is going to take the place of that transformer. Then tomorrow on that pole you'll see we're going to put 3 transformers. And then we're going to run a piece of wire from this pole to that pole.
We are all trained to climb. I can climb. Everybody can climb. It's like riding a bike. They used to climb every day. They didn't have buckets. We're quite fortunate. Of course, it's a lot more cost-effective. A lot faster, we get a lot more work done out of buckets than you would if you're climbing. There's some situations where you have to climb that you can't get a truck to. If you're going to go up in the air and work anything energized, you have rubber gloves, rubber sleeves. If you go in a bucket, you have to have a harness. You have to have a lanyard. You're locked in, so if something knocks the bucket or somebody runs into you, you know, and you get tossed out of the bucket, you don't fall to your death. We also have test equipment. This is our number one. I mean, I don't care what the service dispatcher says, what your boss says, what your chief says in some respects. If you don't physically test something, you have no idea whether it's energized or not.
What we do is energize the new transformer. We test to make sure that we have the legs right. Then we come over here and cut the old transformer clear. And then once we do that, we're going to hang a new bracket. And then run a piece of wire across the road. Tape up the ends here, and when we leave, this will be energized.
I'd say in the last 5-6 years we've had a lot of younger people, apprentices coming through. So you try to take the time to teach them, because if you just go out there and try to get the job done, a lot of times you're not teaching them or letting them learn the proper way, because it's not just learning in a classroom, it's actually going out in the field and doing the work.
It's a fact that there's a shortage of line workers in this country. And really, once you get that journeyman's card, anywhere in the United States and probably parts of the world, and you're pretty much guaranteed a job. At our company in particular, the average age of linemen is now about 49 or 50 years old. It's getting up to where those baby boomers are now retiring, and there's going to have to be people to replace them.
When you first get hired here, you're going to go to school. They teach you voltages, safety, you know, when you have to wear your gloves, when you don't. And then once you complete that class, then you come out in the field for like 6 months. And it's called like a dead step, so you're not allowed to touch anything energized. For the most part, the training's great. You're getting paid the whole time, so it can't get any better than that. And then once you're grade 1, you're making good money.
Line work's great. I enjoy being outdoors. You're moving around to different jobs all the time. You're running into different types of situations. And, you know, it's a fairly nice day today. We're out here working, but if the wind's blowing, it's pouring down rain, and lightning's flashing, people's electricity's off, we're out working. Because that's our responsibility, to keep this electrical system up and working.
I mean, I like being a chief because then I have my own truck. I make my own decisions for the most part. You know, you always try to get the input of everybody in the gang, but ultimately it's your decision. You're the one that's responsible.
There gets to be quite a camaraderie in this work because of the danger of it. And, you know, we're used to watching each other's back when we're working together. All right, Vince, let's... Okay, we've removed our grounds now and put insulated caps on, so we'll be able to energize this cable up to this point. We're ready to release our clearance off switch sheet D06-16350.
That is correct.
Okay.
260 to switching.
Now this is the test to see how we did on our splices.
260, go ahead.
See if it holds. That phases. That's a good thing. Go ahead. That won't phase. Those two phase, so we know the third one will phase. And that will actually complete this job.
Much more than a career, line work is also a valuable community service. Keeping electricity running in times of crisis is of utmost importance. During storms like Katrina, line workers are some of the first people on the scene, repairing infrastructure to hospitals and homes after the damage has been done.
We were, I guess, about 200 miles away from where the major devastation was, but it was still a lot of people, a lot of trees down, a lot of homes damaged. I mean, you feel for them, but we know that we're there to do a job. We're there to get their lights back on. And the people that we help, man, they are so thankful for the job that we do, and that it makes you feel good to do that kind of thing. I worked all night before and got one person on, just knowing that you're making a difference when you're going out there and helping people.